All right, Bill Henshaw here again. The walking constitution, I've been called by some people, and I have more great interest for all of you out there. Um, with regard to challenging the veterans when they get into their corrupt courts. Because I just redone the document that I have had available in my document packets. And to get information about those, send me an email, youwinincourt@gmail.com. And I'm improving this one because we're going to, from day one, and you hit them with the other five documents, basic documents in my trial court packet, in addition to challenging every damn black robe bastard out there on the merits. Because as you know, you've been into any of those courts, you know damn well, they make a big deal about being pompous and in power and this, that, and the other. But what is often the case with problems like that is it's to cover up the fact they don't have any authority. And we can prove it dead bang with attitude and with authority and get these bastards either disqualified, from day one, all of them, all state bar association attorneys, it doesn't matter who the hell you are, you're unregistered foreign agents of the City of London and maybe Vatican City. You haven't been appointed by the president, and it gets a whole hell of a lot better than that. They're not there. Can't be in a judicial court, and that's not what they're in, and it's not what you're in. It's an administrative tribunal, if that. And that's what it is we have to stop. And I think putting this on the record and alerting these black robe bastards that they're in serious trouble here, because the record's going to show we did this. And what I do is set unopposed records in the trial court, just like I did in my recent Colorado case that we got felony charges dismissed when they couldn't go to trial. And that's a big secret they don't want you to know. Someone comes in there with the knowledge of the system and knows what to do about it. And my friend, I'm going to be doing a video with her. Lori made a great effort out in Colorado without me being there. I helped her every step of the way, putting documents in and explaining to her what was going on. And it worked. And we're now going after them with an unopposed record in the trial court that they had the sworn legal duty to answer, and they didn't do it. This is what gets the checkbooks out in a hell of a hurry, because even in a civil rights setting, which is not what I do, even in their corrupt courts, that's going to be a winner chicken dinner, and we're never going to have to file any court papers. That's the best part of all, because they can't have these issues come out to the best attention of the public, can they? No courts, no judges. I mean, my goodness. But that's the power we have here. All we have to do is learn that we have it and how to exercise it. That's my job, to teach you exactly what I did in my South Carolina felony case. And I shut the bastards up after a 2-month journey from coast to coast. And I got in there in the first 30 seconds, stunned the courtroom into silence. God, that's a video I love to have. They claim not to have made in a court of record, wouldn't you know? Well, you see that, and you see me shackled hand and foot in a red jail suit, and they're in trouble with the law, and everybody knew it. And this is the cradle of states' rights. And a big reason, by the way, why I believe the Constitution still does exist and it is enforceable. If that weren't true, I'd be rotting away somewhere in the South Carolina jail cell, if not dead by now. But it didn't work out for them because I knew what the hell I was doing. And I did an 18-page hand-printed writ of habeas corpus to the U.S. Supreme Court alone from a jail cell. If you can find me any attorney that would even attempt to do something like that, let alone actually be able to do it, I'd love to hear it. I mean, these bastards simply don't know the law. How much of that's their fault, I don't know. They don't teach stuff in law school like they did 70 or 80 years ago, maybe. But not our problem. All these official actors have a sworn duty to be bound by this Constitution. And we want to make them stick to it. If we do that, now we have our rights in place. Now we have the right to trial by jury, habeas corpus. And best of all, you teach your kids by example and your posterity to keep them out of harm's way. And this latest document I have, I'm updating the summary recusal for cause of all these black robe bastards. Now you get in their courts and they don't have any judge that can preside. What happens? no case. That certainly makes sense to me if there's no judge. And or if we need a judge, guess what? As members of the sovereign body politic of the nation and republic, we can be the judge in our own court if it comes to that. Isn't that an interesting thought? Particularly with regard to corporate entities that we deal with, mortgage banksters, bastards like this, student loans, FTB, IRS, whatever agency it is, if we're the judge in our own court, guess who wins? And that's how it should be. If we have judicial courts, if we don't, every law on the books is a bill of attainder, taking life, liberty, or property without judicial process. And wouldn't you know, the last time the 90 parts, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled seriously on that issue, Cummings v. Missouri in 1867. That's what we have to start getting back here. Issues like this, the hell with civil rights, due process, equal protection, none of it's worth a damn. You argue the real issues and get in there with it and make them, pay attention to us. I mean, we're their bosses. We created the whole thing, right? Sovereign body politic. We own it. Principal and agent relationship, which today they somehow confuse as guardian and ward, aka master and slave. Those of you who advocate civil rights, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, we haven't come, not only have we not come anywhere in the last 160 years, we've gone backwards because of all that BS and all those war amendments. So I've gotten a little astray here, but you're going to love this document. And you can get information, send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. It sends you information right out on what I do and how I do it. It'll take a little work and effort on your part, but then I think it was Franklin that said eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. It just would have been nice if they would have taught us that in high school, now wouldn't it? In the public education system. But as in my case, better late than never. I figured it out. I loved to have known that 50 years ago, especially outside of Washington, D.C. But you can learn, you can get better. It really doesn't take as much as you think. Just 4 or 5 basic ideas that you get, and you'll have all the paperwork to take care of it. And with my documents, you get free complimentary phone consultations, a free Zoom appearance at a contested hearing, free updates on all documents for a year, and as much TLC by email as time and circumstances permit. So that said, all we have to do is get out there, get on the same page, knock out the BS divide and conquer crap they've been doing for at least 150 years. Get on the same page. We can get these bastards off our backs. Thank you.